What's up YouTube? I'm back again with another video, and today I'm going to be breaking down the first half 2021 results for Rolls-Royce. Some key points to remember with this call: it is the first time without the former CFO Stephen Daintith, and we also say farewell to the chairman Ian Davis, who will be replaced by Anita Frew, and I apologize if I mispronounced her last name. Also, this would be the first time we hear from Panos Kakoullis, the new CFO who has replaced Stephen Daintith. There is a strong emphasis on net zero and decarbonization. The previous guidance seems to check out, and we are looking very positive for the future. If you like these types of videos, please remember to hit like and subscribe. I appreciate all the feedback. You guys are awesome. And without more to say, let's get right into it. The call starts with Warren East, the CEO, giving a report on what has happened over the last 6 months. From opening their new testbed 80 to the hybrid flex train. The hybrid flex train will be powered by an MTU power pack, which can provide a 25% reduction in CO2 emissions, which is a meaningful step forward in the country's journey towards 2050 net zero. This has been achieved through a partnership with Chilton Railways and Porterbrook, and will begin regular services in September. On a side note, the Republic of Ireland has also ordered 9 MTU hybrid power packs, which they will install in their railway system next year. So these MTU-powered hybrid trains coming into service and needing regular maintenance is a very solid future cash source for Rolls-Royce. In civil aerospace, Rolls-Royce mentioned that business jet travel is back at 2019 levels. Domestic use engines in the US and China have also recovered to 2019 levels. Power systems, mostly MTU, have had their orders up 19% and are seeing a strong rising demand in China. The defense side of Rolls-Royce's operations have remained primarily unaffected by the pandemic, and they are seeing an increasing demand for modernization and decarbonization from the US and the UK militaries for their modern fleets. As we're all well aware, civil aerospace has gone through a major restructuring over the last year due to the pandemic. 9,000 jobs were made redundant, and 8,000 have been successfully removed as of today, including 1/3 of management roles. There were also commensurate reductions, which I interpret as pay cuts for everyone who did not lose their job. Rolls-Royce has a main focus on consolidating their aero footprint, with the end goal of consolidating 11 sites into 6. Having a consolidated network of factories will give Rolls-Royce a 40% faster delivery speeds and 10% more productiveness. They've also reduced capital expenditures, hoping to save over $1 billion in 2021 and up to $1.3 billion in 2022. Operating profit has jumped from negative $1.63 billion to a positive $300 million. The free cash flow is still negative, but has more than doubled since last year. Next up, we have Panos Kakoullis giving his first report, and he is in a perfect place to really turn this company around and give himself a great track record for the future. Overall, revenue was generally the same. The gross profit changed from a negative $965 million to a positive $1.097 billion. Operating profit went from negative $1.63 billion to a positive $307 million. And something important to remember is, of that negative $1.63 billion last year, $1.2 billion is a one-time charge, which basically means that $1.2 billion of the $1.6 is something that they do not see happening again. Earnings per share also went up from a negative 59.44 to positive 1.76, which is a huge rebound. As I said before, Panos mentioned that domestic and business flights are back to 2019 levels, whereas long-haul flights are only 43% of 2019 levels, but they are up from 34% in 2020. With their cost-cutting measures, Rolls-Royce is also on track to cut their civil aerospace cost basis by 1/3. Rolls-Royce has $7.5 billion in liquidity for emergencies to see them out through the rest of the pandemic. So Panos also mentioned that Rolls-Royce is in debt of $3.1 billion, and that debt should also increase to $4 billion by 2022. Now, this debt number does not include the disposals of ITP Aero and Bergen engines, so think of these as pre-disposal numbers. Rolls-Royce is projecting at least $2 billion in those disposals and $2+ billion in cash generation in 2022, hopefully resolving the debt sometime in 2023. As far as the electric flight or eVTOL goes, compared to last year, Rolls-Royce has 4 times the amount of engineers working on the electric flight and eVTOL motors. Also, there could be a lucrative future with Vertical Aerospace with their partnership to supply the engines for their craft. Vertical Aerospace has announced orders for over 1,000 eVTOL and plan a public listing on the New York Stock Exchange. As far as SMRs, Rolls-Royce sees a huge future with SMRs, but most likely you will not see any utilization until 2030. Rolls-Royce is hoping to be the European supplier of small modular reactors, and they do have a pedigree with this considering they have been powering nuclear submarines for a long time. So in summary, all the numbers have seen improvement and they beat estimates in basically every way. Rolls-Royce has reliable, reasonable, and achievable goals laid out. I personally feel like you can trust their guidance. And with those goals they've laid out for the future, they've left themselves a lot of breathing room and room for error, but also giving them a chance to beat these expectations and really surprise investors in the future. Rolls-Royce is basically going all in on a green and carbon neutral future, and they want to be the ones leading the movement. The hope being that there will be green mandates in the future by governments where countries will have no choice but to go with efficient engines. Rolls-Royce will be the ones providing them. Rolls-Royce is doing the development now, so in the future when these green mandates are put in effect, they will have solutions for these countries and businesses who need to have green power. So yeah guys, that's my quick breakdown of the investor presentation. I've also posted the full investor call if you want to listen to it word for word. This was just a quick summary and how I interpreted it. So I would suggest everyone go watch it for themselves. You know, maybe you might interpret some of the things they said differently than me. So that's out there if you guys want to check it out. If you liked the video, please remember to hit like and subscribe. I appreciate all the feedback. You guys are awesome. And yeah, I hope you all make tons of money. Stock Surfer signing out.